Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on where you are. Welcome to the stream again. I'm gonna quickly add the chat here as well so everyone can be here. Hey Yash, how's it going? Happy to see you too, man. How have you been? How's everyone today? For those of you who already have the Friday started, happy Friday to you. For those who still living in the Thursday, meh, it's just one day more and then we have the weekend coming in. So we are super close. Dealing with college. Yeah, I don't want to go there again, to be honest. I'm really happy that I don't have to go to college or university now. I mean, I do want to do my masters, but we'll see when that happens. But so far, I'm really happy. Yeah, I don't think I want to go to classes at this very moment because I enjoy what I do in the mornings. So I want to keep doing that. But which college are you in, Yash? And which city? And let's add everyone here as well. When I'm recording and when I'm actually recording tutorials and I have to hide all of these layers, so to say. Where are you actually from? I'm originally from Karachi, Pakistan, but I live in Sweden now, in Stockholm. But I've lived my whole life in Karachi. Tech Insider says, hello, taking Desi tea in Sweden. Exactly. Look at this. Or maybe look at this. So I finally managed to get, what do you call it? I think it's Lipton, or is it Tapal Dendar? No, it is Tapal Dendar. So this is Tapal Dendar. And usually I have an espresso machine as well. You might have seen some of the coffee pictures, but I that takes a bit of time, and I did not have too much time. I was like, okay, maybe I should go live and then code something instead of spending about. I think it takes about 5 minutes, to be honest, to yeah, to essentially make a good cup of coffee. But this is much faster because I don't really make the tea like how we are used to do in our cities or in Pakistan or India, where you have, like, if you're properly making a doodh patti chai, then you have the doodh in, or the milk in your utensil, you mix the tea, and then you let that boil, and then that there comes the really nice tea that we are also really fond of, especially when we go outside to what you call dhaba. We have the tea there, but this one is just a tea bag tea. What I usually do, and let me know if you have a better way of having a tea, but what I usually do is I hope that there's a better way, or I probably know there's a better way. What I usually do is that I fill till here. The cup is filled to this point with water, and then I put the tea bag in it, and then I put a sweetener in it. I'm trying to avoid white sugar, so I put the sweetener in it, and then this amount of water, and then I let it go in the microwave on the setting of 600. I don't know what is the unit of that, but then on 600 I let it sort of rotate for 1 minute, and then I fill the rest. So this part is water, and then till here it is milk. So and for those of you who are not from Pakistan or India, it might be a surprise to you. I've seen people going crazy and asking me, what is this? This is not coffee, this is not even tea. But they don't really understand this is what we have had all our life. So this is the key. This is the tea. That should probably be a slogan. So, but Tech Insider, when I put the water till here and then the tea bag in it, in 1 minute I can see bubbles. So the water actually boils. Now it is I mean, we can argue if it really boils or if it is excited or whatever, but I can see the bubbles in that. How is it tea if it's not tea? It's tea with milk. So it is tea. We have a tea bag, and the tea bag goes with water. We let it boil, or I let it boil for a minute in the microwave, and then I put the water on top of it, not water but milk on top of it till here, and then I let it be more warm for about 1 minute and 10 seconds, so 70 seconds, so to say. And that's when I get this thing out. So if this is the color of your tea, I think this is it depends. Some people like a bit stronger tea, so they have even more brown when it comes to it, but not too much. But this is, I think, what I'm really used to seeing in my family, in my, I don't know, at my uncle's houses or relatives, whatever. But this is the tea, or this is the color of the tea that I'm familiar with. Text Snyder says vital tea is my favorite. Oh god. Okay. You know what? When I came to Sweden, um, one of the things I tried was to mingle with the Swedes, and one of the things that I thought I could do is have black coffee. I failed miserably with that, and I could not for the life of me go with the black coffee. I tried, trust me, but did not work. And then I went back to the tea. I do like coffee with milk. Um, for example, cafe latte or cappuccino, but uh, but I think this is still one of my favorites because I can make it really quick, and then and then yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is the desi version of the British tea. This is essentially exactly what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. But Tech Insider, Vital, a person named, or I'm not gonna take the name, but a person actually introduced me to Vital here in Sweden, and that was the first time I tried it. And we first found it to be too strong, but then I actually got used to it, and I really liked Vital. But I think we had one bag of, I don't know, maybe 300 tea bags, and that was finished. But my wife believed that it is too strong, and she would not tell me the name of the tea. She said, "We're gonna get back the Tapal Danidar. We're not gonna have Vital because it feels too strong." And now I'm having again Tapal Danidar. So that's what happened. Texas, in Punjab we do not add water. Interesting. So it's just tea and with milk. Interesting. Yash says, any idea when you're heading back to Karachi? Maybe in June or July. Maybe. But I wanted to go in January, but I could not, unfortunately. Yash says, I'm from Vellore. Vellore, is it right pronunciation? Vellore Institute of Technology, Tamil Nadu. Aha, okay, interesting. Vital tea is from my city, Harunabad. Where's Harunabad? Is it in? I'm assuming it's in Punjab. Can we have a look? Um, Maybe let's go to maps. It would be a shame if someone answers this inside uh, before. Oh, it's in Bahawalpur. Bahawalnagar. Aha, okay. I'm really bad with maths. Oh, not math, maps. Really bad with maps. I am really, really bad with maps. But okay, interesting. It seems a lot green, a lot greener. I used to, yeah, I'm not really used to looking at so much greenery. That says left job watching some cool stuff live. I hope you didn't leave the job, but probably finished your day because left the job sounds a bit critical to me. Are you home? Are you working from home, Zed? Because where I am from, I'm gonna show you. It's called Steel Town, Ben Qasim Town, Karachi, Pakistan. So this is where it's a shame that it doesn't look green on the map. It's yeah, it's really a shame because this used to be so green. Uh but yeah, this is where I am from originally. And in my whole town, I was telling this to my colleagues here in Sweden, that where I lived, there were just two in the whole town. There were two small markets. So this is one of those markets. It's called Russian market, and the other one was this one. We had a Pakistani market as well. This one. So we had two markets basically. One was this one with really minimal shops. But yeah, you can see how it looks. But you could get a lot of things from here. Yeah, cash and carry. I remember this. This is bringing all the nostalgia that it can. But yeah, this used to be really green. It's not. It's a shame it's not anymore. And I used to live in the steel town, but then also I used to live in Gulshan Hadid as well. And yeah, a lot of memories from here as well. I can see a few parks now there. Nostalgia, exactly. Zad says I'm from Kaidabad doing freelancing on Upwork. Awesome. Awesome, Zad. I've been to Kaidabad so many times. I mean, because I was living in Steel Town and I had to go to the city, I would obviously go from or through Kaidabad, and and in Kaidabad, maybe we can see. So in Kaidabad, when you are at, so this is Manzil Pump, not really here, but I think after we have exactly. So here, Faizan Bilal Malik Karachi, and then we had. No, this is too far. Somewhat around here, when you cross the bridge, Jama Masjid Hanfia, somewhere around here. Yeah, Koita Namkeen Hotel. This place right here. So here, where the bus stops, usually, and it would stop for 20 minutes, and yeah, then we could go and roam the shops around. I would go to the mobile shops, see which used mobile I could buy, and then also eat something from around there. So I've been to Hyderabad so many times. Philippe, hey, how's it going? Akshit, hey, how's it going? From Hyderabad. I love you. Thank you. That's nice of you. Philip, greetings from Spain. Thank you so much. I came late. Did I miss all the workflow? No, not really. We started talking about the tea. There's a tea, and it's almost finished. But when you see the whole cup, it looks exactly like this. And this is what we usually have in Pakistan or India, and we have this. I think at least 2 times a day. If I'm wrong, just let me know. But I used to have this at least 2 to 3 times a day. And this is usually now how I make it is I put like this till this level. I have water with the tea bag and the sweetener, and then boiled, and then I fill milk to up top, and then I let it boil more or in microwave essentially, and then this is the color that comes in. Shout out for Akshit Chawla. Hey, let's go, Akshit. How's it going? Let's do a shout out. Right, calm down, calm down, calm down. Everybody's going crazy for Akshit. Shout out. Where in Sweden are you? I'm in Stockholm. Philip, where in Spain are you right now? Which city? Wasim says suggest ideas for software as a service products. I mean, there are so many ideas that could go into software as a service. You can provide cloud services. You can provide, I don't know. One of the things that I really liked in Sweden was a company that helps other companies with buying their. For example, let's say you go to a big company, which is a software house, and it's your first day there. When you go there, you would want to have your laptop, your mobile phone, and all those accessories. So there's a company which actually does that for other companies. So it lets enterprises order these devices, and the the company as a software basically sells their software, which can be used to order these things. So it's a really good. I really like the model. I'm not really sure how successful they are at the moment, but that was a really interesting idea. So I can give you probably this idea that you can use. So ideally create a software or create a platform where other teams can sign in. They can define, we have this sort of software developer with this amount of budget that we have, what are the options for devices, and then they can pick the devices, and then when the employee comes on the first day, they have their stuff ready. And I think that's a brilliant employee experience. PL others, where are you at? What tea brand do you use? I use the Tapal Danidar. I think if I try to find this right here, so this is exactly the bag that I usually have, this one. And trust me when I say this, Tapal has not sponsored any of this, not yet. And I'm not showing my screen, so that's stupid of me. Let me show this. There you go. So this is the exact bag that I use, Tapal Danadar. I think it has 300 or something. Or is this not? No, I think this is not tea bag. This is the one, sorry. Tea bag 300 pieces. This is the one. So I have these circular tea bags, and I like them. I'm not really sure if I have this extra strong though. Maybe I do, but I like it. I think the possibility of just using the microwave oven for 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes and then having the tea is something really nice. It's a you have to give it to the yeah, to the technology for making the life so much easier. Actually, no problem. Tech Insider says kind of an onboarding platform. Yeah, exactly. More like a device management platform. So I think I'm assuming they also support in, for example, setting up a contract for that employee with the company, and they might also be sort of, for example, you can just go to that platform. If I was the, let's say, I don't know, chief operations officer of the company, I would just go and see, all right, how many people do we have, and how many people have which devices, and then which contracts are currently active, and then stuff like that. I could go to that portal and see all the reports and how much is it costing the company per year. So those sort of things you can probably add to that software as a service. Strawhead Fee says I'll have to try it. A drink Assam. What is Assam? Assam drink. Ah, is it something specific? It looks like it's cinnamon, red tea leaves. Chatramyu brand. Is it the same? But what is it behind the scenes? It seems interesting, but I'm not sure how it tastes like, to be honest. But it seems not too expensive, at least. Mm, Assam black. Ha. Okay, interesting. So I think I'm gonna look at this echo thing. But do you usually have it with milk or without milk? Actually said I came for coding. Yeah, we'll start that. No problem. Can you hear that also? And then add milk. I make it like traditional tea. I cook it and then add milk like chai. Oh, okay, got you. Awesome. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right. How about we do some coding? We had a lot of discussion about chai today. So I'm gonna quickly start the project and we'll see what we can do, because I had one of the things that I did with the Let's see if I can find that really quick. Close, close, close. And I'll let this go. I'm going to show you what I'm working on today. So I have this product that I'm building, which is supposed to help us take or get reviews for different sessions. So for example, I gave a talk and I got a lot of feedback on that. So for example, this one. So people can go and give presentations or workshops, and they can take feedback from the audience anonymously, and then that shows here. So right now what I wanted to do was to build this component called review, and then basically taking it from there. So I'm going to show you what it looks like at the moment. Philip says, I'm a Peruvian who lives in Spain, and I recommend you the emollients is like a tea. The emoliente. How do you pronounce it? Okay, I'm gonna keep a tab open. I can at least see that I can find it here. Rome, Salib. I see a lot of things, but I'm gonna do some research on it. It's difficult to find. I'm gonna definitely do some research and see if I can find it. But let's run this locally as well. So this one right here is where we can see the app. And if I go to, for example, the same thing right here, you can see we see the same data because I'm connected even locally to the same backend and the same database. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the review component that I want to build and actually use inside my Angular Cookbook recipes. So if I go to the review widget.html, this is the one that I have. This is the one that I want to show you. So this review card, I think it is being used in review card component. And if I go this review widget component, this is where I have, yeah, this is the one. And if I look at this, this should be a route exactly. So the review widget is the one that I have. And if I show you what it looks like right here, review widget component, and I think I'm using the query parameters called session pin. Okay, so that's what I wanted to look at. So that means you can go here, open a new tab, and this is still localhost, but if I go and copy the pin for, let's say, optimizing talks, and I can then go here and not do that and say review widget, and there we go. So this is the widget that I have that I want to render inside my Angular Cookbook page. This means that this will show the reviews of all the people who have given feedback on a particular session. But I want it for all my projects, and this is what's going to be so much fun. So if I go to this page where I have, for example, a session and just the pin, then this is how it looks when someone wants to give me a feedback. But I don't want to do it on this one. Let's do it for the test one. And if I copy the link, I can copy the link right here, go here, and then here I can give a feedback. So here I can say perhaps this is my feedback, and I can say good pace and submit. Once I do this, and if I go to test meetup right now, here you can see this is my feedback, which is just what I published, and I can see the pace and everything else, but let's not go there. But I have this feedback that I've provided to the session. So if I refresh, I can still see the same feedback, but I want to also see the same thing inside here. So if I refresh this, this should get me the feedbacks unless I've broken something, and reasonably sure that I've broken something, and that was the idea for fixing today. So let's see. If I refresh, I get the session, I get the questions that I have right here, but then I don't really get. Okay, I try to get something from here, but that doesn't really give me the feedback. This request has no response, but this gave me a 200. Okay, so this one and this one is the same actually. Okay, so I got back the, if I look at the header, this is getting the attendee, and if I look this one, no, this is a different call. Why did I get 200 okay but no data? It is because something crashed. Aha, here. Yeah, so this review widget component, this is broken, so we are going to use the new signal stuff, and we'll see if we can make it nice, so to say. So first of all, what I want to ensure is that I'm doing things in the correct order. So what we want to have is the session, so we try to get the attendee from storage, which is fine. We check the session pin, that's also fine. Then we go to session service, we get the session by pin. Then we try to get the attendee, which is already a signal if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is. Okay, then, and I'm trying to see where we might have gone a bit wrong. So then we take back the session.feedback. So this is what's wrong. We don't want that. We want to get the feedbacks of the session, and that has a particular call. So we need to look into that particular call. So let's see if I can find that as well. I should be able to find the API in Docker, or not Docker, but actually here. So if I remember correctly, it should be on the 3333 docs. Is that the one? Let's see. No, that's not the one. What is the backend URL? So if I look at the API, it has been so much. Localhost 3000, so it should be 3000. So 3000 localhost 3000 docs. That's the one. Okay, so what I want to have is the feedbacks, not the feedbacks, but thinking. So I have the attendee, I want the all the feedbacks, and I also want, I think, okay, so the one thing that I then just want to do is just to have the session including everything. So with feedbacks is set to true, and I get back the questions, but I don't get back the answers to those questions. So what I can do is I can also return back the answers as well. Okay, so let's do that. So we're gonna go to our widget review widget component, and also let's have a look at the API, and this should be, what was the endpoint for this one? This was sessions by pin, and then this with feedbacks true. So if I go to sessions controller, and here I should have by pin, and then we have with feedbacks, and when I'm getting the questions, I think I could get the answers as well in the same query. Oh, maybe let's see how many places do we use this with feedback. So we do use it only from web, which is with feedback, because I don't want to do the same thing twice. Okay, so this one, okay, so with feedback is only being used in the widget, so we are safe. So let's quickly change this to with responses instead. So here I can say with, and please don't mind my editing skills because I'm using the Vim thingy, so I might be a bit slow. So with responses. I'm gonna change this to with responses. I'm gonna go inside here, change this to with responses. Maybe do it in a way that I can repeat my motion. So if I do this with feedback here, I can say w with responses, and then I can just say n dot n dot. There we go. And then maybe also n dot dot with responses true. Okay, so now that I've changed this and then this, then I can go inside the API and make the backend also understand what we're talking about. So here, can I use the same motions here? If I do n, ooh, look at that, dot and dot and dot, cool, 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 and save this. And if I go find by pin, and here I can say, okay, so here we want to include the attendee, but we don't want ratings to be there. We want questions, I think. Doesn't it show us questions? That's a bit weird. That's a bit weird. So each feedback is gonna have find by pin and then params.include.feedbacks. But I don't want to have I don't want to have feedbacks actually. I want to have let's see. How can I do this in a nice way? I can select we and then this, and I don't know how do you remove if I'm in the insert mode. I can, okay, so I can delete this and this. Okay, so what I want to do is I can say params dot, so I'm already including questions, but I think I just need to include dot responses actually, and then I can say select, or I can also say, I think, include attendee, and in the attendee I think I just want the names of the attendee. So here I can say select and the name, the display name, and maybe the ID as well. So display name true, ID true as well. I don't think we need anything else for the attendee. And for responses, I think, yeah, we should have all of them, but the questions, I don't know. It looks like we should probably not even have, no, that's really hard, but we'll see. So if I do this now, we should have some response back with response true. And if I look at the preview, we have questions. Each question should also have, sorry, we should also have responses as well, but I don't see that yet. Is everything running still? Yeah, it is. If I refresh now, we have responses as well now, and we have questions here as well. Now the funny part here is we need to have these responses figured out in a way that I can show different people have responded to this, and this is a bit tricky. Maybe on the back end I should configure the data so the front end doesn't have to do it. We could obviously do it on the front end as well, but I don't think that's worth it. But I'm thinking if I could do that in Prisma nicely. Hmm. By the way, if any one of you have worked already with the backend and you have ideas, especially with Prisma and Postgres, you can also give ideas, because I consider myself as a front end architect, not a backend architect or developer. Or I mean developer, but not an architect. But let's see what we can do here. So the attendee only has the display name and the ID, so I can at least do that. What I want to do is to group. Was there a knock? Give me 1 second. Yeah, that's my kid. Okay, so then if I look into attendee, I can see all the responses by different people, so I can group them by attendee ID. And then I have the questions that I can have. But is there a good way of querying this in a way that I don't have to do manual configuration? So sort of doing this in the database level. That's what I was thinking. So if I yeah, maybe we can ask the AI in this case. So let's see if I can find the schema, and then maybe we can ask our boy ChatGPT. So where is my Prisma schema? So let's see if I can GG and VG, and then let's do a copy. Okay, so what I want to do is study this Prisma schema, and let me know how I can fetch the following data. The required the data in the required format I will describe later. So let's give the schema, and also let's mention that this is Prisma schema. Okay, so I have already mentioned that, and here I can say the data to retrieve should be grouped by attendees so that the UI can show responses of all the attendees for a particular session for a particular session. You can imagine review cards showing the user's display name and then their response for each of the question. I think that's pretty much it. Each of the questions. Have I missed any detail that I want to give this guy? The responses, display name, not gonna change that. I think that's it. If we'll see if anything needs to be updated to provide the information. All right, the moment of truth. Cool, Yash. See you later. Have a good one. Okay, so this is what we want. So we want to find a session where the session ID is this. Then we want to include the participants and include the responses. Each response would include question and include the user detail to get the display name and the relevant info. Okay, interesting. But this, mm, okay, doesn't group the data in the form of an array that can be directly used in the UI. Want to avoid grouping or structuring everything in the front end. I would imagine the end result from the API to be something like, and here we can define response equals, and here we can have something like attendee, and then we have questions, and then here we can have maybe question and response. I think, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, I think. So having an array of reviews where I have the attendee information, we have an array of questions that we can render, and yeah, the questions would be in the order. Let's see. I don't want, okay, I can still post process the data, but let's see. So here we're trying to find a particular session, then we are including participants and including the responses and including the question. Okay, that makes sense. But then we also want to, yeah, this is something that I would rather do on the back end rather than on the front end. For each participant, we are returning back the attendee information. We are also returning the questions and including the question and the response. But we are also getting the I'm thinking the fact that we have to do it for every single question is a bit, I mean, I understand the approach. I don't negate it, but yeah, I don't mind it as well. Okay, let's try this now. I don't know where this user came from. So if I go to the API first, let's try to get the API in place. So in this one, we are trying to say finding the session with the params, and the params where the pin is there, and then we can include reading configs true, questions true. So we want to include participants and including the responses. The user is interesting. I want to see what the user comes, what user comes in here, but we'll see. But I want to do this when we have, I'm thinking previously we had reading config and questions, right? Whenever we try to get a session by pin, this is what we get out of the box. So we got, I don't want to break stuff, so we're still gonna have questions true, but I think we can get rid of this guy. So let's see if I can find a way to do this. So let's say we have this, and we can basically say the same thing here. So params and dot participants, and replace with equals, and change dot participants, and replace with this. As you can see, I'm still using my mouse whenever I can. Sorry to all the Vim users out there, might be in pain now. But if I just remove this, then I think we're good. Okay, so the user true here, this is a bit interesting, but we'll see. So I'm gonna go to my front end app now, and let's see what we get out from this. So what we got back is question. So we have a list of questions. So this doesn't break the previous approach. The participants are here. I can see user being null. So this is interesting, right? And we do have the ID. So we don't really want the user. I think rather we want to just select from the participant here. So here we want to participants, we want to select just the display name. I don't think really we need this user thingy. So come on, and this, and we gotta go down, not up but down. And let's see, CI, very good. No, that's not at all what I meant to do. So here I want to just select the display name, true, and the ID, true. I don't want the avatar. I mean, I do want the avatar URL as well. Yeah, but I don't want the created at or updated at. I don't want those. Okay, so then this can actually go and get deleted, I think. Yeah, this is good. So then I can try this again. Ooh, that's not good. What did I miss? Did I miss a particular bracket? Did I miss a bracket? Did I miss a bracket? Did I miss a bracket? Please either include or select, but not. Ah, that's not good. But I think I could actually have in here responses. Yeah. And then include, and then question, and then actually true. I think this is what I wanted to do. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And we did it. And let's see if this works. Okay, so we got the questions, we got the participants. In the participants, we just have the ID, display name, and avatar URL. We got the responses, which are all of these. And we also have a question for each one as well. If we have this, then I'm really thinking, do we really need to have the grouping? Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Let's see. So if I look at this here, we had participants, include, responses, include, question, right? But we also had questions here. So but then I actually don't need to loop over these because I already have the question inside the response, right? However, that I mean, yeah, then it makes it a bit trickier on. Then I would have to rather bring everything up. I would have to take the question out, bring it up into the response, and then I would order. But I'm thinking, is that still better than doing all of this? That I have to run a questions sort of map on top of it. I think still that is probably better than doing what ChatGPT is saying. Yeah, I think that's probably better. Hey Zishan, how's it going? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. I hope you're doing just well. Okay, so if we have the element found, then we're going to just map that. So what I want to do is I want to have a response that contains the attendee, but then also the questions and then their responses, right? um but I could also have, yeah, I would have to have that, but let's do this. Let's do this. So here I could say cons responses equals, then what I want to do is I want to say session dot participants. Ooh, what? Session, the session that I have should have participants in it, right? Find first with a, would I have to give this the type here to wait a second. So when I'm trying to find this with these values, I'm saying find first, reject, select, include. But what if I want to see the types of the other things that we have? So session has a lot of things, but I'm also including a lot of stuff, right? Why does it not count it? Um Interesting. That's not good. But maybe we'll find a way. Let's see. So the find first, if I say type of params, and if I remove this guy, so now does it give me the types? Hmm. Hmm. If I try to do session dot questions, nah, doesn't do it. Okay, if I do find first, I want to see what are the types. So this is the type, and we have extra arguments. So we also have t here. Da, 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 da. Okay. Hmm. I'm trying to see if I can make this nicer, or if I would have to just go with the flow. Okay, let's see. So here I want to say that this is session. What happened? No. So this should be session Prisma client, and there should also be um participants, which should be an array of attendee, and it should have questions, which should be an array of question, and also should be, no, I think the participant should actually have responses, response, and question of type question. Now what does this complain about? It says participants is missing in type this, but this is session participants argument. Find first arguments, but these are also default arguments. But if I go with No. Mm-mm-mm. But even here, it would not really find it. If I had a copy of this, this is where I start to not appreciate TypeScript a bit. But it's not actually TypeScript, it's actually my lack of experience. So if I do it this, and then I go here, and then I say participants, right? And I do AP. If I do this, and then if I look at the type of session, sorry, type of params is it still the same? Or if I remove this with an equal right here, and if I look at the params, what is the type of the session in that case? If I remove the type of this guy as well. What is the type of session here? So session has questions, and if I do session dot questions dot, and if I do participants, I can now find those because of the type of parameters that it says. And if I remove this guy, even then it works. So that's not too bad. Then I don't have to explicitly type it to something that it shouldn't be. So, but then I can do something like this. So I can say sessions.participants.map, and here we have part attendee. And what I want to do is for each attendee that I get, I want to return an object of attendee. Then what I want to do is I want to return back questions, but for each attendee, I want to do, and here's where things get tricky. So here, then I have to take, I have to flip the question and answer, right? So what I can do here is that I can say attendee dot responses dot map, and I have a response here. But what I want to do is I want to say return, and I want to actually take out the question. So I can say question, and here I can say rest response, or rest of the response, so to say. So taking out the question and then rest of the response. And here then I can do question, and the response is going to be rest resp. I think this is what I want. And then what I can do is then I can actually return, but I also want to return the session with responses. So I'm thinking. What do I do? If I take out just the session from it, then I can do something interesting. So we do have the questions, right? And we have participants. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take out some values from it. So let's do a shift O, and I can here say something like take out the participants, and I don't think even if I want all the yeah, let's keep the questions, but then also leave the rest of the things in the rest of the session. And here I can say session, but what I can return from here is, am I creating any duplicate values? No. So here I can then return actually the rest of the session, the questions and responses. And I don't think I want to have participants. I think I could just say underscore. I'd never use it. Remove the destructuring with potential side effects. But I want to take out participants in this case. Okay, we'll see. But here, did we, the webpack compiled successfully, right? Or did it not? No, something has gone wrong. So now we have session service not the module. What? It's assigned but never used. I could remove it, but I don't really want to. I mean, okay. Okay, then I can probably just do this. Delete session dot participants. I didn't want to do it, but we'll see if it is still persists. But here it looks fine now. So let's see if I go to, that was not the one. If I try to go to the app now and I refresh, so we've got in the session. That's good. We've got in the questions just as before, but we've also got in the responses, and this is what we were looking for. So we've got in first response containing the ID from anonymous user. We got the questions, and each question contains both the question and the response, and I really like it. This is what we wanted to do. So then I can quickly do that. Then that's good. So yeah, I think I'm really happy with this. So let's go and do the rest of the code. So I'm gonna lower this down, and we'll make sure I've put nothing that actually breaks. Yeah, I can just remove the things that I'm not using anymore. Yeah, I think this is good. So then we can quickly click this guy, look at the responses in the widget, and then just render those. So when I get the session by service, I actually get all of that. But then when I also get the attendee, then I can actually see, okay, so the session in this case that we get feedbacks. We don't want feedbacks in there. What we'll do here is we'll create a particular type, and I can probably move it somewhere else as well, but I think this is really specific to, I think I'll use it here, but then I'll remove it and put it somewhere else. But I think in here I do want to have, or maybe I can put that in PC UI interfaces, to be honest. Or types. Do I have types anywhere? No. So if I look at question interface, maybe I can put it there, or response interface. So here we have the type. Hit Rain, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Let's make this guy here as well. I do also want to test the, I don't know, the stream elements overlay. I think it has been quite some time that I really haven't seen any sort of alerts on here. First, I actually removed the alert box. Obviously, I wouldn't see it, but yeah, it was interesting. But what I want to show here is export a type of response for, I'm not really sure. Maybe it should be in here, maybe it should not be inside here. When I look at the components, I do have the review card here, so I think might as well put it here. Yeah, let's create another one. So here I'm gonna say, even though I call it interfaces, I have the set type for it, but that's fine. So if I say review dot interface, or maybe just review.ts, types.ts, let's make it type. So let's go ahead with, what is this project? Good question. This is a project in which I can create a lot of sessions. And for example, if I'm going to give a talk to someone, not to someone at a conference, or if I'm giving a workshop, I can actually get back feedback from them using this application. So I can create some sessions. I can configure what kind of questions I want to ask them. For example, here, it could be something like this. I can add fields from here, like how helpful was the talk. You can say number of stars to show. So you can configure your form right here. Once you have the form, it looks something like this, for example. So here we had, let's see, not this one. If I go here, if I didn't break anything, so here, quality of the content, how relevant was the workshop for you. So these are the questions that are for this workshop, Angular 0 to Hero. What I can then do is either create a QR code or copy this link and then share with the audience. And when I do so, they basically get into this page, and then they can provide their ratings. So they can pick and choose, say too slow, it was good pace, too fast, and then do this. And they can do this anonymously without even having to log in. So, and then as me as an admin who created this can go and see those responses. So that is what it is. And then people, if they want, they can also react. So we also have this reaction sort of widget. So you could do something like this in there, and then this would essentially get it here when this is submitted. So yeah, that's what this is about. And right now I'm working on a widget screen which is supposed to show us all the feedback given to the particular one. So for example, if I go and try to go to, let's say this one on production. So if I go to review widget session pin equals, is this broken? Yeah, this is broken, and that's what we are trying to fix right now. Yay. So yeah, that's what we are doing. So we should have a review widget that basically shows all of that, and it would show all the reviews right here. Can you send the link? Yeah, of course. It's called pulsechecker.netlify.app, but I can share the link as well in the chat. Philip says it's a bit late. I'm leaving. Great time and good night. Awesome. See you later. Thank you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Okay, so now that we have gotten the feedback, we just need to fix the whole view. And I'm gonna export the type from here. So export type review widget response, and this is supposed to be what we just talked about. So this should be of type attendee, and there should be an attendee right here, and here it could be a partial of attendee. I think instead of an attendee. Or here what we usually have is we can actually just say from the attendee we need to pick a few things. So here we can say say w, we can say pick, and then from the attendee we are essentially picking a couple of things. We are going to pick display name. Am I writing this the right syntax? I think I am. So this, and then yeah, avatar URL, and then the ID. So I want to pick all of these, and then I want to have a questions, which is an array, and here the array would have a question, which is gonna be of type question, which should come from the question interface. I don't think so. It should come from the Prisma client. And then we have a response, which should come from the response from Prisma client. I found a bug. If no sessions loaded is displayed. Yeah, I found that today as well. If you have no sessions, it just keeps on loading until you create one. Yeah. And my camera just died, so I'm gonna just quickly replace the battery. But thank you for reporting. So this is ideally the review widget response that we want to have. So if I want, I can actually export this. I don't know what I should call this. Maybe types and interfaces, or I don't know. Maybe just use types all around, because I don't really have, I don't want to rename everything at the moment, but we'll see. So here, export star from review.types, and let's export that. And then we go here. We want to use this type in the review widget component. So here I'm actually expecting to have a signal which contains everything. So here I'm gonna say, responses, and there should be of type signal of a review widget response array, and by default should be an empty array. So this is the responses that we should loop over. And when we get the session, we just set the session to this, but we set the feedback right here. So I'm going to actually remove that. And if we don't have an attendee, we can say this dot okay, I'll fix that. Okay, so we say responses dot set, and here we can say this dot session dot set, not session dot set, but responses. And we don't really currently see this because the type that we set here is not correct. So this is saying session with ratings. However, it's not session with ratings. This is actually session with the review responses. So here I'm gonna check how many places do we use this. So we use it here in the edit session component. Okay, I need to see this one as well, but primarily what I want to do is, to be safe, we can create another type. I think that's probably much better. So here let's say export type session with review responses, or review widget responses, equals having a session, and then we should have responses, and the responses would be of type response or review widget response, an array. I think that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So then I can actually use this guy, which I can do something like yank w. Thank you. And I should be able to use that in our widget component, which is right here. So what I'm going to say is this session by pin actually returns something of this type. And we can actually go and remove this. And what? Did I remove the wrong one? So this was session with review widget responses, and I need to copy this and then go here. Come on. Session with review widget responses. If I do this now, does anything else break? I think I'm not using some imports. So yeah, this can go away. If I come here now, this is going to be interesting. There are some problems with the UX. The no number of stars to show field I did not mention, immediately realized that I had to drag and drop. I started clicking, it would make stars icon, and when you click on one, you determine their number. Ah, okay. Now I get it. Okay. Okay. So that could be better. You're talking about the creation page. But I got it. I'll definitely look into that. Talking about this guy. Number of stars to show. Yeah. This is probably not as clear and could probably be improved. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I'll actually note it down. Let's open that and let's say stars to show. Got you. Close this. Don't save. And okay. So then this session that we are talking about also it should be session with review widget responses, which means I should be able to set those. But here we do have session dot responses. But this session should be there actually. If there's no session, then we are not actually gonna work on that. But this session should be there. Okay. If we don't have an attendee, then we set the session responses completely. If we have an attendee, then we should set it, but excluding our attendee ID. So we should say responses dot set session dot responses dot filter response, and here we should say response dot attendee dot id is not equal to my attendee dot id. If that's the case, then we do it like this. Am I breaking anything else at the moment? No. If we don't feedback is not set, yeah, I can remove that. But then get attendee from server basically does a couple of things, but we'll look into that. What is your VS Code theme? The VS Code theme is Winter is Coming by John Papa. It's a really good one. It's a really good one. You should try it. Where's the setting? Preferences. Theme. Color theme. It's this one. Winter's Coming, dark blue, no italics. I also got to know there was someone who recommended another one. I don't remember what was the name. Tomorrow Night? No. I can't remember what was the name of the other one. But they said that's the maybe Tokyo something. But the exclamation, that means that the question mark means if it is there, then you do something. The exclamation means that I know this is gonna be there. This will never be not there. So when we are trying to say, when I'm writing the code here and I say get session by pin, then I know this session is always gonna be there. So and I've set it right here to the signal, so this should be there because it's synchronous. So yeah, that's what it means. Okay, but then I can actually remove session with ratings from here, and then I can see if I can still make things work. So review widget session rating. So what is this crying about? Rating config. Rating configs do not exist, yes, because we changed a lot of things. So rating configs, feedback form. It's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. What am I searching on? Background disabled. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna remove this. So we have at least something rendering. Let's refresh. Session component TS doesn't work. Get result is not assignable to type. This is coming from the session component. Okay. It's just complaining about the overall integrity of it. Session.component.ts. Where are you? You're right here. This session equals to this the session, and this is using the session by pin. That's why it's doing this. But if I try, okay, if I try to right now look into sorry, if I try to look into rating config, ratings config. I want to make sure I don't break more things and still get done with what I'm working on right now. So widget, this one is failing at the moment. Let's see why. So if I refresh now, where does this come in? So session service, subscribe, attendee, feedbacks. This still shows the old code. That's a bit weird. I think that's because we are not really compiling anything, because this is failing to compile, of course. So we need to fix the session component first. All right, let's see this red thing right here. So here it says that we are trying to, this guy is not session with ratings. Yeah, okay. So session with ratings, we're gonna have to change that. So CIW session with review widget responses, I think should be fine. Can remove this, but maybe, just maybe, it starts breaking something else. We'll see. Session component HTML, of course. So where am I using rating config? Session.questions. Look at this one. Now this guy is supposed to be, oh, is it not supposed to be a signal? Ah, yes, absolutely. Okay, I need to update the interface because I messed it up. This should actually have no, what I did is actually wrong. Review widget response is session with review. Okay, so the session interface right here, this is where I got things wrong. So here I also need to say questions is going to be a question from Prisma client and this, and that should make things happy. Come back. That, thank you. Session component HTML. What happened to you? Session.questions. We'll look into it in a bit. Hitrain is asked, by the way, can you check my project, please? Tailwind alternative, by the way. Sure, can you share the link in the chat? Muhammad Hasham, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing, Hasham? So type comment is not typed to multiple choice drop down checkboxes. What do you mean? Types of property type are incompatible. Ah, interesting. Interesting. I've forgotten my own things that I did. So the question here actually has to come from the question with config. This guy. Is it so? I think it is. No? Question with config, and here question with question with comment. Come on, what am I talking about here? So here it says it's gonna be always question with lib session feedback form. I don't know. Now I'm going into too many things. So this is the questions with config, right? This is exactly what I have. And if I look at the session component, what I'm passing from here is question with config. Oh, I forgot the array. Sorry. That makes perfect sense. Why you'll be angry with me? And there we go. No errors. Hey, maybe compile this time, please. Hey, let's go. It's called blick.netlify.app. Okay, let's have a look at that. I'm just gonna refresh this and see if this shows anything at all, and then we can look at your project as well. So here now this is built. So this is setting the responses to, this is the responses going in there. If I move forward and it goes here, pretty nice. And we still don't show anything because we have a bug. Let's have a look at your project first. What is it? Blick.netlify.app. Is it gonna rickroll me? No? Yes? No? Is it safe for work? Can I do this? And also mute? Okay, it's good. It's good. This looks nice. Pretty clean. Click.scs. Script copied. Click to copy. Nice. To get started, paste the code above in your head tag. What is it? Flex column. Text. A lightweight 30 kilobyte extremely powerful CSS library generates style based on class and special attributes. Okay. Uh-huh. So here you're doing class with 2 into 3, h100, bg dash green. And this green is, this can be provided. Or is this dollar green predefined, or maybe I'm asking the questions too much? Okay, so best practice CSS variable. So here is, you have bg brown. Okay, so you can define those. Interesting. Okay, I think this is one thing that I have not seen in Tailwind. But when it comes to runtime performance, do you have any sort of benchmarks on how this performs against Tailwind? Even if, I mean, I'm not saying it should be better, but even if it's close, better or not better, whatever that is, I think if we can have a sort of benchmark against the runtime compilation and also the performance, I think that would be awesome. An alternative to, because the first question that I would have in my mind is, why would I leave Tailwind CSS and go for Brick? Internet problem, look in console and refresh. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here you are doing it. Interesting. So I can see on average about 3 milliseconds. Interesting. Hmm. Mm-hmm. If I look at your JavaScript, so now I'm disable cache. Okay, so let's see Blick, and let's see everything from Blick. So this one is 33.5 kilobytes overall. Interesting. And is it possible to opt out and purge, or have you already looked into purging as well of the things that I'm not really using at all, or am I going in the wrong direction? Does it only generate, does the JavaScript only contain methods that creates those styles and nothing predefined? Is that, if I'm understanding it correctly? And you don't have to rush to answer, of course. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna also look into this. So we go here, and then we get the attendee feedback. So get attendee from server, get attendee feedback, set. The feedback is null. We don't want the feedback in here. We do want, in the review widget, we do want to have, come on, review widget. In here, we do want to have get attendee feedback, right? And we get the session ID and the attendee ID. But I'm actually supposed to get the responses of the attendee, but I don't really need those because I can automatically filter them out using using the array, right? Or can't I? So first of all, here we are getting the attendee from storage. If we don't have an attendee, if you don't have a session pin, then we don't really do anything. And we still get all the feedbacks. So if so, why do we try to do this? That doesn't make sense. I think I could just look into the attendee response and then do it there. I don't speak English very well, so I don't understand some things. Okay, no problem. You can try it in the playground, and then you have play. Okay, let's have a look. So here we do have so here you can do what is the output CSS. Okay, so if I try to remove flex completely, is it gonna, maybe if I, no, let's say if I remove this guy from here. Okay, so it removes the CSS automatically from there. That makes sense. And what if I do 40 plus 40? Mm-hmm. 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 Interesting. And you also do bg black divided by 3 as well. Oh, black divided by 30 as well. Interesting. And this one is given to the header. Okay. Interesting. This seems really nice and pretty fast as well. What is the styles to the button? So it's black bg divided by 50 height. What is the HBG0 doing there? Did I? Okay. Okay, here we have the HBG0. It's hover on BG0. Okay, of course. Background 000, and that is what happens when you preview it. Interesting. Time bit 300. I think one of the things is gonna be this. Looking into, yeah, look or sort of understanding into, but I think that's the same with Tailwind CS as well. So once you get a hang of it, you know what you're talking about. And this write 10 means I'm doing it on the yeah. Oh, so this is border radius 10 pixel. How would you do right? How would you do if I want to give position absolute and then left right 0? Do I do right 10? Okay, so right 10. Interesting. If I try to do something that doesn't exist, it doesn't create it. 20 plus 2. Okay, interesting. Interesting. You can type in console F12. You can type in console F12 Blake. There's states or just Blake dot. Aha. So you said 12. Aha. Okay. Interesting. Nice. This is really cool. What motivated you to work on this? Was this something you were working on before Tailwind CSS, or did you did you start it after Tailwind CSS because of some reason, or what happened? Okay, I'm gonna see if the attendee feedback is here. Is it? It just says 200. Why does it? Because the feedback that I get back is null. That's weird. I think we should be getting rather responses. I think we should have one single response for this. We'll see. So I'm assuming you're typing right now. So I'll continue on what I'm doing. Okay, so if I want to get responses for a particular session, then I think I should do sessions slash response or session slash attendee slash response, something like that, right? So we have session slash id slash, or we have the feedback slash attendee id. If I go inside find one session id and attendee id, and it includes ratings and includes session rating equals to true, I think this needs to change, to be honest, because I think this does not, I think nobody really uses that slash. So this one, for example, the feedback service, which is right here, this is the only place where I use this, right? Get attendee feedback. And I think this should be get attendee responses instead. I think this needs to change. Get attendee responses. And then we have session ID, and then we have, I don't know. And then we have session ID, then we have feedback. I think we should have something like, I don't know, should we go with attendee and then responses, or session slash attendee ID slash responses, something like that? Oh, but we already have one. So get attendee responses. So we have session ID responses, attendee ID. So yeah, I should just call this method, I think. So this one is supposed to, thank goodness I've created something that I can use. So in this one, I can just yank it and p, and then dw, get attendee responses, and then what I get back is a feedback that contains session ID, blah blah blah. We look into that. Tailwind says, yes, some things annoyed me in Tailwind, a lot of code. I wanted attributes for text, flag boxes, and arbitrary values. Can you start it in a GitHub, please? Yeah, absolutely. I think I like it. I like it enough to start on GitHub for sure. And I can also probably share this when I get the time. There you go. Awesome. What's your new username? GTHX. You're from Ukraine. Awesome. Super cool. Awesome. No problem at all. No problem at all. Great work. I hope this, I wish this becomes big and people start using it, because then we can also identify the potential improvements as well, for sure. But awesome job. Alrighty. So attendee feedback. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think we could just take out the responses from the, I don't really think even I should have, once we've gotten the attendee from server, I think we can just extract it from the yeah, we can just extract it from the questions. And then here what I'm doing is I'm also setting it feed in the feedback form. So I'm gonna cut that. Backup current val. Why do I back up the current val? I don't know why I do that, but we'll see. Okay, so what I want to do is I don't want to have this thing right here. Okay, so I do want to set the attendee, that's for sure, but I don't want to return this thing. So maybe we can X this. We can go here and say, hey, I'm gonna do a P here. This is supposed to be attendee. This is supposed to go away, and let's do equals. Then what I want to do is I want to take out as an attendee response with this. So here I can say attendee, and I can see I need to remove a lot of code. So attendee response is going to be a signal that is of type review widget response, and right now it's not there. I mean, it's going to be also null. So we start with null, right? Then we'll see if we can find it or not. So here we can say this, or const attendee response equals this dot responses dot find, and here I can find it by ID. So here I can say, and this is a response, so here I can say response.attendee.id. If it matches the attendee response, then we basically got it or did not get it. If we got it, then we're going to start setting those things in the pulse form control, or in the pulse form, so to say. But what I'm really afraid about is we have done it to set the new thing, but we have not, I don't think we have actually changed the feedback form, which is yeah, I don't really know when I touched this before. So we have the liberating of ratings form array dot controls dot max. I think I've changed this, which means I can go ahead and change the pace and comments and then ratings. Okay, so then we can see, okay, so then I know what to do. So okay, so then thanks so much. I follow you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So here I can say if not attendee response, then just return. If that's not the case, then I want to say, I want to set everything in there. So here I can say attendee response, and maybe I can also set this, to be honest. So here this dot attendee response equals attendee resp, and then I can say attendee response dot, and here I would have to now break it down into different ones. So comment response equals attendee response dot find. Now this could be, and the responses are of type writable signal review widget response, right? So here this could be, ideally this should be review widget response or undefined, of course, right? Is it not? Ah, now I understand. Come on, this should be attendee.id. Come on, that's why probably it wasn't able to find it. I don't know. And this should then be wx And then here I can say, come on, dot set. Isn't it not the same? What am I talking about? Attendee RESP. Okay. So then what I want to do is I want to say comment response is going to be attendee responses. Uh, oh no. No, but hmm. So the review widget response contains questions as well, right? Okay. So here I'm going to say questions dot find question and question dot type question dot question dot type equals this should be question type dot comment. Isn't it the one? What are you talking about? Import from Prisma client. Thank you. Dot comment. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And then we have const. To be honest, I should also check one more thing. Or attendee response dot questions dot length. If there are no responses, we don't need to do anything, right? Then we can take out the, and I what I'll regret doing later on is I would have to refactor this. XX Morganis. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I don't know if my alerts are actually working fine, to be honest, because I don't hear anything. Maybe I should check my stream element, or I don't know which one am I using, but I don't really know if my alerts are working fine. But hey, welcome. So I want to get this one right, and then also do the same thing. So what do you do when in Vim? Do you do YY? Yeah. And then you do P, and then you do X, DD, and then I can say paste response, but I can go and find the one actually here, and I can say rather than comment, paste. Is it not the one? I think it's called signals, right? Yeah, signals. So if I have that one, then that's good. So if, and forgive me for my slow typing because I'm very new to MIM. So I can say if comment response. If that's the case, then I go ahead and I do what this little guy is doing. And what I want to do here is I want to set the value. Can I do a small bracket? Oh no, that's not good. When I try to do CI and then bracket, it basically just goes to the topmost bracket that I'm in. That's, I don't think that's what I want. Well, anyways, so here I can say then comment response dot content actually. And is it of type? Now that's going to be an interesting one, because if I remember correctly, the response interface has this, and the value there is, no, this is not the one. Signals response, this is the one, and the content has a value that's called string in the case of signals. And then if it's comment, I think it's just a string. So here I then want to have comment response is gonna be this guy, but then I want to type this guy actually. Can I do this and then this and then this? Come on, where did you go? Comment response, and here I want to do it as what was the name again? response interface, signals, response, content. Is that the one, right? So let's say uh, I think I can do this as signals, response, content. Is it not the content then? Value string. Yeah, exactly. But then I want to do the value right here. But why does this not? Why is this not happy? The properties of content are content. Is it supposed to be that? But then, but I don't understand this. I don't understand my own code. So this one, where do I use this? Review widget. This is the only place I'm using it. That doesn't make sense. So response content value is something that I want to have. Okay, but this thing right here, prisma.json value, is something that is usually not clear. Okay, but what I want to do actually here is to use signal comment. Oh, I can't do it. So if I do signal.content, I would have to use comment response.response dot content, and then we have either, so this is going to be just a string that we can say, but I think it also has a value, to be honest, if I remember correctly. If I go to the schema.prisma, this should tell us the response thingy, and if I go here, so we have a content that has a value named int, string, or an array of a string. So that means this guy that we had the response interface in is questions response content. Response has a content, the content has value. So if we look at this guy, then we're talking about response content. Okay, and if we go back here, then we are talking actually about response content, or we could say response. No, I'm not really sure what I've done here. Why have I done this in this particular way? So rating response content is this, option response content is this, signals response content is just a regular value, and I think this is supposed to be the same for for comment as well. So if I do here, I can actually do comment content, and this is supposed to be this as well, and I can actually go here and say comment response content. So in here I could potentially go to the widget, and here I can say comment.response as, or here as response content dot content dot value as string. But why does this not like it? It says JSON value is not comparable to type value string. Property value. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't like this, but it's, yeah, I'm gonna go with this for now. Then we're gonna do the same thing. So we got this guy, yank it, go to the next line, do a p, do this. Let's do a paste response. Then we can go to comment. Here we can say paste dot set value, and then we can do comment response cw paste response as unknown, and I think it should be the same as paste. Then I can also check if there are more things as well, and if I take and then I can also take things which are ratings. So const, maybe I can say, and this is but shouldn't be okay. Okay, then I can say const rating responses equals, and then I can basically copy all of this, yank it. I don't know why I use it at all, but yeah, here I should probably do filter, and here I should also do rating. So we should have rating responses, and here we could have feedback. WDW, here we should say rating responses dot length. So then if we have that, then we can actually change that right here. So here we can say WW rating responses dot for each, and then we can do question.id, and I can do rating dot question.id. Ooh, sweet. The label is supposed to be question.label. Ooh, and the score should be rating.response. And now the crazy stuff comes in. That content. Don't know why I went for this content thingy. Okay, but anyways, so here then I have as unknown as response content dot value as number. I think I'm really positive of what's gonna happen. Let's see. First of all, no. Did we are we yeah, we crashing. Why are we crashing? Review widget component, yes. Are you mad? Duplicate function, get identity responses, get identity feedback. Then oh, I didn't save it. Sorry, my bad. Can you please compile in a way that it doesn't crash? Get identity from server. What? Not all possible paths return a value. That is true, actually. But do they have to? I'm gonna look at that. So this one is doing a subscribe. Ideally, oh, since we're using subscribe here, should we even be returning anything? I don't think so, because this should be just doing return. Yeah, thank you for the hint, TypeScript. Not as bad. Okay, 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 okay. The moment of truth or the moment of failure. Not sure which one. Did you fail or did you fail? Can I remove you? Can I remove you as well? Okay, so what's wrong? Don't we have anything at all in here? So if I go here, attendee, maybe it just returns here and then that does nothing else. Let's see if I get the session, then I can go here and do all of that magic. So here it comes with the session, goes forward, gets the attendee. The attendee is there, so no problem at all. Then it goes forward, response.set sessions.responses.filter. It tries to set them and then moves forward, hopefully, to do the thingamajig. Here, it then tries to, and the responses right now perhaps are filled with cool information. Here we have the attendee ID. It goes, tries to find this. Ooh, we got the session. We get this session. We say attendee. If there's no attendee or no session, then we basically do. Hasnan Javed, what's the product? The product is Pulse Checker, which allows people to create different sessions for the talks and workshops that they give, and they can easily get feedback on these anonymously from different developers, and they can also get reactions from those. So it's more for speakers, and in the future we are also going to be able to add links to these. So if you are giving a talk as a conference, you just need to have one page where you can both get the feedback and provide the links to the audience, if that makes sense. So that's the idea. Right now I'm working on a review widget that can show all the feedbacks on the particular session in sort of a review format. So that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, so we got the attendee. It saves it to the storage. That's good. Attendee.set attendee. Not too bad. Then we try to do this thingy right here. So attendee response should be taken out from here, and I can not. So if there's no attendee response, and no, but that's also, but that's okay. That's okay. So then it just returns from it. It doesn't set anything at all, right? That's fine, I think. But where are my rating components? That's what I don't understand. So where are you? Pulse checker review card. Feedback of feedbacks. This is what is wrong here. So no. CIW responses. So I want to go for responses. I also want to. Why do I have feedback here? I don't know. What happens if I don't provide the feedback? We'll see. So if I refresh and I remove everything from here, now it's gonna crash somewhere else, and we'll see where. Okay, so I've started at least to show something. That's not too bad. Go forward. Okay, so this is good. Now we can look into actually showing the information correctly. So the responses are sent. Oh, okay, sorry. So this is the, now I understand. So this response is being sent to the feedback card. Okay, and this is, I would rather name this as response. Response? No, response and response and response. Okay, and then I'm gonna go into the component. Here I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna call, I'm gonna remove this line, and then we are going to use response equals, and here we can say review, input, which is the new Angular input. I'm going to give this the type of review widget response, and we are also going to make this required so we always get it, right? And then we can remove this guy from here and this guy from here as well. Cool. Now the HTML part. So in here, I should probably say response dot attendee dot display name, and here here we have the pace, and we also have some other things as well. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna render the pace for now. I'm actually going to remove this, comment this out for now, but I want to look into the comments and also the rating. So even this one I don't want at the moment. This one, response dot questions, is what I'm looking at. So I want to have response dot questions, and for each question I want to provide the lib rating some value. Well, we'll look into it. So if we go here, we can say not if but for response or question of response dot questions track response, or track essentially question dot id, because I know that's unique. What do you mean? Question dot id, of course. But then what I want to do is for the lib rating, I'm gonna cut this guy, cut it, and then paste this guy, and then go here, and then go here. What I want to do here is I already have the question, so what I want to do is what was this before? Rating dot score? No. What was this value before? Feedback dot ratings. I don't know. We'll see. But what I want to do is I want to not do this. And what I want to do here is I want to say question dot response dot content dot value. I don't know if I can if I can make this any here. Can I? I don't think so, right? No, I don't think so. But I want to, okay, so I already had one pipe as well that I can't remember which pipe. But I'll look into it. But the label is gonna be question dot label. But that's fine. This is fine. This value needs to be there. So I need to look at the pipe. What is the pipe that we had? Response content pipe. This. And where do we use this? Response content in the exact same manner. So here is what we use. And then we also provide the question dot type. Okay, so this is where we want to give it. So here we can say, wait, come back. Question card component, right? So here we should also go and import that right here. So response content pipe is supposed to be in here, and then we can say response content, and then question dot type. And I think this should make our life easy, I think. What am I missing? So just providing the response, and it has session ID, blah blah blah, and it has content, right? And I'm providing it, but I'm rendering this right here. But here it doesn't really matter which value we are going to provide. But I don't know. This response content, the value that it provides back is a string. But then should I port this to number? Why is this not happy? Null is not assignable to type number. What do you mean? What do you mean? String is not assignable to type number. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? If I wrap you, sorry, if I wrap you inside, no, if I wrap you inside a bracket, right, and then I go and say 0, then a string pipe 0 is not assignable to type number. But when I'm using a pipe of number, ah, no. What is the pipe name? Is it decim? No, no. Okay, then I have to run something. So response content. I want to also see if I've used this inside. The value here is always a string. That is the problem. But this should be a number, right? And that is the 2-number pipe. This is what I have. Okay, so then I don't like it. Maybe we can import this pipe into the other one. Does it have imports? Standalone true. It's a pipe, right? Can it have imports? No, it can't have imports. Then I would just go in the widget component, review card component. Why can't I watch unexpected error? What do you mean? What do you mean? 2-number pipe. What do you mean? 2-number. Thank you. Thank you so much. Then I can save this guy. And I can save this guy. And then we have a problem. But why? But why? Why indeed? Oh, compile successfully. There we go. Can I please render nice little reviews? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Anonymous user paste test 1 2 3. Woo! But this one, the comment and paste should not show there. That is yeah, that is the key. Not all the questions should be there, but just the questions which are rating based. So what I can do is I can actually create a computed. So ratings is a computed, in which what I can do is I can just return this dot responses dot questions dot filter question, and the question type, or the question dot type is question type dot rating. Look at that. And then all I need to do is to go in here, and instead of response dot questions, I can actually say ratings. Ooh, that should be nice. Move all breakpoints. Thank you. Hey, let's go. So we finally have something out of it. We can also take out the comment in the same way, and then we can also take out the paste. So comment is gonna be a computed, in which I can just find, basically copy this and not be stupid. So then I can say O, and then P, and this, and then here I can say find, where the question type is CW, and question type is comment, right? And then I can also do the same thing with paste equals computed, and here I can say return this dot, and I could do this actually the same thing. So here yank it, and then I can say p, and here I can say paste, no, signals. Okay, then I can actually go here and render the value of comment. What do I call this? I will call this comment dot response dot content dot, and here I can actually have response content question dot question. Okay, comment dot question dot type, and yeah, I think that should be it. But why does it cry? Should I put that inside? If comment, then we do this. Well, why do we cry? Here it says enter find is not assignable to type get result. Oh, okay, my bad, sorry. And dw, and here it should, I think it should be, no, I think it should be still response dot, no, I think this is the one that should be there. But then I should say this, and then also, because I've already checked that comment exists, and then the question should also exist, and there should be a question and the type for sure. So then if I have a comment, you can see the comment right here, a, but then should it be up top there? I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it should go, it also depends on how we see this. So this could actually go down like this in sort of a viewable manner, but I forgot that my camera just died. So I want to see the time. What time is it? Oof. Okay, I should probably go to sleep pretty soon. We'll see. But now that I have this right here, maybe I can and we can also filter the people who have not commented to not show anything at all for them, and exclude them in that case. But we got anonymous user, we got the ratings, and we also got that. Let's also add the paste here as well. So what I'm going to do is uncomment this guy, and here I can say cw and paste dot question dot title label. Is that the one? It does not exist on, okay, that's fine, but I don't want to look into that, to be honest. I can basically remove all of this and style dot, and we'll fix that, but that's fine. So for now, if I show the paste, so you can see the paste right here. But what I wanted to do was to have a background color that is actually set to paste, and I think this whole thing could actually come under an if statement. So if we have paste, then we are actually putting the paste in, and then we actually know that it exists, and the question of course exists. So what I want to do here is I want to take out the value. So here I want to say response response content and paste dot question dot type, and this actually has to be this, and this also will be provided. And not the color actually, and not even this. um I'm really confused now. Okay, so let's actually render this. I think I want to render this value. I want to render this. What is the value of this? So if I do a p here, I should be able to at least see the value, right? So here you see good, slow, all those sort of things. So but then I could probably bring back, I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. I think there should be a pipe that could. I'm gonna put this as a to do for now. I'm gonna put this as a to do because I want to work on it properly. So to do, implement a pipe that gets the color from the question config based on the response content value. Okay, so let's do that. Let's hopefully fix that. I'm gonna put that in there for now. So here we have this. The only thing that I want to do is to not show anything at all if we don't have, if we don't have something in responses from this. So this, the response dot set responses dot filter, they don't have the ID, right? And also responses dot set, I think maybe this should come from the backend, to be honest, that we don't even send anything that doesn't have a response in it. So when we go to response.controller, no, not here actually, in the session controller, and we try to get back the feedback from attendee, yeah, ID responses, yeah, this is the one. Then what I want to do is I want to go and say where find by attendee in session. No, that's not the one. Where did I go? Session controller. Session controller should be response service find by attendee in session. So in this one, we're trying to just return. Interesting. But this is session responses. I want to get the attendee. Get session feedback. Feedback attendee. Get session feedback attendee. Get session response. Here is with responses. If I go and find by pin, I should get include questions. True. Participants. I think we should probably do it. David's like, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing, David? Here we should also probably say, I don't know, can we do include in participants? But I can also do something like where questions, no, where participants. No, I can't do that, right? Since I'm doing a unique query on, or I could do it, to be honest. I think I could do it. Say where participants. And here, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna probably just ask chat GPT boy how to get sessions. No, how to get responses. No, wait a second, what am I getting here? Responses which have um no, we're talking about how. No, wait a second, we're finding by pin. We include. No, I don't think this is what we want to do now. And that's my 11 p.m. brain now triggering. So we want to include the questions and includes the participants, but we also select here, right? But shouldn't we also have a where possibility here? I don't really know. Let's check in the Prisma select where would we select this, but we can look into this in just a bit. David Slap says, I'm great, Alhamdulillah. How are you doing? I'm good, Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for asking. And thank you for joining, of course. Select specific relation fields. And later you can include or select count of relations alongside fields, for example, users post count. But I don't want to have count. What I want to do is I want to include, but then also select based on it. Um, so I'm going to quickly check if that's possible. And I'm also sort of running out of ideas at the moment. So we'll see. Let me see if I can find our nice little chat GPT to answer me this. So if I copy this, copy, because almost all of the time I have to double check the answers. So consider these params. Is it possible to get only participants which have at least once response submitted? Awesome. Okay, so I select participants, but this is I mean, I don't want to do that, of course, but I wanted to have something here, so I don't have to do this. But okay. Anyways, so in this case, we have participants, which we have right here. Select display name true. Include dot participants equals. But I should remove it from here actually, because this shouldn't be here. Okay. Now I don't really want to give all the. Okay, I'll keep it like this, but I'll remove this in later because I have to go. So to do, remove this from here and type the params variable nicely. Okay, so what I want to do is when I have the session, I want to get responses with session.participants.map, but I also want to then filter it. So I want to filter the participants with participants dot questions dot length. Yeah, length greater than 0, of course. So what I don't want to have in here is this third guy that has no response at all. So if I refresh now, hey, let's go. Awesome. So we handled this on the back end, so we only get back the response of the people who actually have responded something. So that's good. So we did not have to do anything on the front end at all. But this is looking good. I can at least see the ratings, the questions, and for example, if I go to the test, this is the test meetup, I think UFG1. If I copy the pin, paste it here, yeah, that's the one. But if I go and try to edit this guy, and we have test meetup 1. Now, is this broken as well? Maybe this is broken as well. No throttling, but if I refresh now, yeah, for some reason this doesn't fill back. So user attendee, this guy has questions, but I don't see those questions, but I'll see. But this is still promising. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually push this, because I think right now it works successfully, just making sure everything works. But I can now push this with responses, session service, and review widget. Cool. Session service, we changed some stuff here, changes to with responses, just making sure I don't have any code that should not be pushed at the moment. Why do I have a different line here? Okay, let's remove that line. Review card component, not too bad. We use signals, some computed. This is okay, this is okay, and this is also okay. Okay, so I'm gonna actually stop all of this. Status, git add, git commit, feature, review, or rather refactor, review widget, refactor to support the new responses, refactored the review widget component to support new format, added some to-dos to fix later. What did we also do? Updated the review card, commented the pace label for now from widgets, did new review types, and I think that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna push this, and this will be live hopefully, and with everything working. So super cool. And that's actually it. I think it has been a fun ride. We were live for 2 hours and 35 minutes. That's interesting, so to say. Tomorrow's Friday, so I would already have some a bit of lesser time because of the Friday prayers. But thank you everyone who joined today, especially on X, and especially on other platforms as well. But thank you so much for joining. This was super fun. If you enjoy what you're looking at, make sure to give a follow. Make sure to have a look into the YouTube channel, which is CodewithAhsan, the same name, and you will find this logo right there as well. And I'll see you next time, next live stream. And till then, happy coding. Have a good one. Bye.